Evening all.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email.
Let's mute that. Evening all. Welcome to another ICC Banter Blitz. So it's Friday evening UK time, 9 p.m. Okay, so I've got a couple of challenges already. I'm just going to say hi all on stream. And let's go for the first challenge here, Chamags. So this is a 3-0 game. 3-0. Let's go with D4. This is a weapon I've used a little bit in Blitz recently. Inspired from Shirov in the Lloydsbat Masters of when he won the Lloydsbat Masters in 1990. It's an interesting idea. Let's move my head down a bit actually. Okay. Okay, so Bishop D2. The idea is Queen G3, basically pointing at the king's side. So he's let me have this nice bishop pointing at the king's side. Maybe I should consider. Okay, I'll castle here. So it's a bit of an attacking position, castling queen side when you can get it like this. I'll support the centre there just in case. I'm also ruling out use of the G4 square. I just realised it's like a 3-minute game actually this. If I pay attention to the tone control a bit this evening. Am I trapping that bishop? King B2. Is it too dangerous? It could be too dangerous. It's possibly too dangerous. Let's just support that B3 pawn, maybe knight e2 rook e1 coming up. Camera's not quite there yet, I think. Okay. Now there's no knight takes because of Queen G7, right? So that's an interesting tempo gain. Has he got B4? That would be annoying. Okay, can I just take this so I can play king takes? I wonder. Nope. No king takes yet because he's on C3, of course. Right, I'll grab that. Materialistic. Knight D4 to F5. Maybe knight D4 to F5 could be, as long as I'm not getting mated. Queen A8, Rook A1. Okay, I get a tempo here. Tempo is a crucial in chess. So a tempo here to go to F5. Right. And now what? Well, there's rook takes. I've got rook takes available.
Check.
Aha. Now, there's always rook a1, thankfully, with my bishops controlling a1. In fact, there's queen f6 on the cards if he's not careful. Maybe that I can get that working. Or simply, bishop takes f6. So if he doesn't exchange queens, simply bishop f6 is super dangerous. But I'll control the a file first to avoid any queen a2 check. Trying to snuff out the counterplay first. Oh, his clock has stopped. No, don't tell me his clock has stopped. No. Am I still connected? I'm still connected, right? I'll do a who space T to check if I'm still connected here. I think I was going to play bishop takes f6. I think that was a cool position. That's a shame. I was looking forward to bishop takes f6 because that would be mating. Takes, check, rook g7, mate. Okay, he lost contact or quit. Let's play bishop mate. So a non-increment game, 5-0. I'm trying to look a little bit at the time controls. So bishop mate. Let's do this system again. It seems to be quite a free game. It feels less, in a way, at the moment it feels less claustrophobic. I don't know if that's an adjective to describe this. It's like a Scandinavian in reverse. If you can get to castle queenside, I like the D-file pressure. So basically this was a surprise weapon used by Alexander Morozevich when he won the Lloyd's Bet Masters in the 90s. He demolished Grandmaster Mark Hebden with this system. I guess Hebden was taken aback. There wasn't so much theoretical preparation back then. So I'll put my queen on g3 again, so we get a sort of pattern going of these sort of attacks here. So this is very different, though I haven't got a bishop pointing on the diagonal just yet, but I like the semi-open file pressure. So I think it's an interesting attacking weapon maybe to check out. Whatever it's called, centre game I think it might be called instead of centre counter. The Scandinavian used to be called the centre counter, right? But I think this is called the centre game. I believe, I might be mistaken. Okay, so it is using that central pawn move early on. Let's see here now. So a3, bishop d3, knight h3, knight g5 might be an attacking idea. I guess he's going to just have a fishing pole set up. He's not going to, I don't expect him to move the knight here. But at least the pawn is stopping a4, a3, right? So I don't want to... Well, I was surprised by that. I don't think that was necessary. But, okay, let's go for knight g5. And I'll set up my own fishing pole then. If h6, I'm just going to leave my knight there. I'll set up my fishing pole. I'm controlling b5 here. Wondering, like, knight g5. Can I actually play bishop e3 here? There's an interesting possibility of bishop h6. I don't think it does anything. I want to kick this pesky knight away. I mean, it's a good time to check forcing moves just for reassurance. Nothing horrible is happening. So like things like bishop a2, just for reassurance tactically, I find it's comforting to check forcing moves. Knight g5, bishop d3. Okay, I'm going to get some resources over here. Queen b6. Okay, bishop d3. Does that support anything in particular? I think I could risk taking this and try and support, although it does look a little bit dodgy. I don't really want to get hacked to death. But on the other hand, it might be riskier to allow b4. I've noticed some master games, they do take that. It's kind of defensive measure in a way, paradoxically, even though it's giving a road there. If he got b4 in, he'd be opening lines. Anyway, it depends. Can I support that bishop on b5 or not? I'm going to try and support it, maybe even with c4 if allowed. But he could sack the exchange here. I'm just wondering, if I got in the move c4, there's bishop takes c4 dismantling. Yeah, got to be very careful here. What if I took this? Yeah, I think I'll take this out of the equation to strengthen my light squares in a way, and stop the immediate bishop takes c4 tactic. So it kind of strengthens the light squares. I'll tell you what would be nice would be bishop d2 to c3, I think, because that would defend b2 and hit g7 indirectly. Bishop d2 to c3 looks like a nice maneuver. Additionally, I believe that, yeah, that would be a very comfortable position to go for here, bishop c3. And maybe point at d6 soon, some extra pressure. Or even a5, there's queen e1 for a5 later in store. So bishop c3, pointing at g7 and a5. It looks like good stuff. Pointing at, there is bishop f6. On bishop f6, I do wonder about the d6 pawn here. It's nice having a queen on g3 hitting d6 and g7. Yeah, I like the previous game. I'm going to just go for d6 now. Try and get my caffeine going. Okay, so queen d6. This looks very interesting. My king at least seems quite safe here, even with the double pawns. Okay. And maybe I can even take on a5. There is knight c4, bishop c4, rook b2, but does it end off the tactics? Or do I just want a quiet life here with e5? I don't want this business particularly on b2, even if I can't see exactly how it might conceivably work. I think I'm kind of reassured more if this bishop's off b2 and I just take on e6, because it looks very, very solid then. I'll maintain my defense of b2, and in fact it's a pawn. I can get another one here and there's still no hassle on the diagonal. So I think this is cool. In fact, getting a pawn to h6 looks very, very cool idea to try and weaken this diagonal. So this is not just a defensive bishop, it's attacking as well. If I can get to play h6, this bishop looks wonderful. It's a lovely Morozevich bishop in this opening system. So rook e7 coming up, maybe even controlling e8 here. So I think rook e7 is a dream position to get with rook e7 here. I'm threatening immediately maybe hg, king takes, rook e7, rook f7, rook takes h7, king takes, rook takes f7, rook takes c7 after.
Check.
I think this is a kind of forcing move tactics to try and rapidly calculate. Okay. So he's on c4. I could attend to that just in case. Especially if it's an increment game. There's no window for slipping up, even if they've only got 7 seconds, as I found out last week. But thankfully this isn't an increment game. Okay, right. Thank you, bishop mate. Zionula. Let's play a knight c6 system, I think. So this is the knight's tango, but I'll change it now with bishop f4. So we've got a kind of, oh no, I've been conned into a bad London system here, where I have no idea what to do in this position against the London system. I've had a miserable game recently in this. That was against a 2400 on the auto pairing recently. If I try and remember any lessons for that game, it was this bishop can be very destructive with c5, which seems to be the pattern immediately I'm facing in this game. So maybe e5 isn't such a good idea to try and maintain the solidity of these three guys. e5 just is going to go into c5. Okay, I'm going to try and pretend as though I've got counterplay without playing for e5, which is going to be an interesting thing to pretend. Can I encourage a4 to weaken b4? This is very, very cat and mouse play. I mean, I'm going to try and go into that b4 square. Basically, I'm feeding on what I can immediately get in terms of weaknesses here. I just don't want to commit to e5. Okay, am I losing material here? That's a key thing. Not yet. He's actually playing quicker than me. This is a bit disturbing as well. Right, now comes the dreaded c5. What I did notice, it does weaken d5. Now with my pawn chain intact here, I'm still worried with my pawn chain intact. Okay, let's start panicking here. No, bishop c6 maybe is okay to weather the storm immediately. Maybe the one little downside of c5, if it doesn't rupture the whole pawn chain, is it slightly weakens the d5 square. This came in a post-mortem variation of a game recently where I could have done more with the weakened d5 square. So I'm trying to use some retrospective analysis in post-mortem from a similar game pattern. This isn't an ideal method against the London system by any stretch. This is a London system on steroids with the c4, c5. Instead of the pawn remaining passive on c3, it's trying to break my pawn chain and make this bishop a super duper. Still, he hasn't got d5 just yet, I believe. hasn't got d5 just yet. Because the knight actually on b4 that I'm entrenched is helping control d5. I'm lucky here at the moment, tactically at the moment. He is pointing f7. Okay, I can try and stop e4 maybe with knight e4. Or is there d5? Maybe knight c3, then I've got two pieces hanging. Gotta be careful here. I don't want to commit to d5. Maybe dc, c7. Okay, I'm stuck again. Can I just play knight d5? I wonder if I can play knight d5 to get some pieces off. This doesn't strike me as a nice position. But anyway, I'll play it, yeah, because this is what I have to play. Then I've got myself in this mess. Okay, I'm still blunting that bishop. I've still got that b4 square. Maybe he's kind of let me off some sort of hook there. His a pawn might be subject to attention later. So knight b4, queen d7, and challenge the c file. He's giving me this with tempo, but there's queen b5. What about queen d7 first? Hitting a4. This looks promising if I can contest the c file. Okay, he's forcing me into this kind of thing. Now, c file or b6? I think this one. Okay, it doesn't look as though. It doesn't look too bad at the moment. I gotta say, it doesn't look too bad. Can I actually threaten now? Knight d3. Right. Knight a2, there's rook a3. This is a problem. Is this the time for e5? If there is any time for e5, I'll go for it here to try and open up my bishop. I'm not convinced, to be honest. I think he can just double rooks. Alright, let's try and get these bishops off. Alright. There's knight d3 here, tactically. That might be handy. For knight b2, it stops rook c1. If rook c4, I might have rook b4 hitting the double pawns. Try and look at downsides of the opponent's position. This double pawns is 1, maybe. But further than trying to find downsides, is trying to get the opponent to juggle the weaknesses, because they've only got one move at a time. So get them to juggle weaknesses. Like rook b4 is a double attack. That would be nice. Okay, if he wasn't attacking me. Okay. Am I going to be losing a pawn here in the game? Yeah. Can I get rooks to the 7th? Right, that's interesting. Although, okay, I can pretend that for a moment. I've got my own passed pawn to counterbalance this. It looks very tricky, this position. Can I just resolve the tension? Or play rook b4. You can always play b6, so yeah. I wonder if, yeah, I don't think, yeah. Okay, let's see.
Check.
Try and probe this f2 for a moment. Let's see what white is doing for a moment. Okay. Maybe this for king g6 if I want to play f6 or f5 at some point. Well, there's always rook g7 though. Rook e6. It looks pretty solid for me. I don't think I should be able to lose this that easily. Well, but that's a bad psychology to have. But it's 2 rooks each. It's kind of symmetrical. I wonder if I can offer a draw here, because it is kind of symmetrical. He's playing for a win. Okay. I get it. Okay, he's 20 seconds up on the clock. But can I not just hold this? If I just wanted to hold this position. Okay. I might be able to try and win it with h4. I can imagine h4 and rook g2 at the moment. If I have rook c2, oh, that's a bit optimistic by me. No. Or maybe he's tied down to g3 here. If I played rook g2, is he not tied down, or is the king gonna go to f5? I can try and mate the king with king g6 and h5 here. If he moves the rook, right? What about this? What about taking? Taking an f6 might be interesting. Unfortunately, there's h5 there. That ruins some of my ideas. Right, 1 minute 26. So hold this. Looks a little bit drawish, but I don't know. No, I want to try and win it somehow. I mean, he's pushing for a win. I can sense it. If you push for a draw, you end up losing. I think if you push for a win, you can end up drawing sometimes. Like here, rook h8 and h5 is mate. So does he play f4? This is like mating. Does he play f4? Right. Okay, so I take that.
Check.
Play check. 112. He's got e5 coming up. I've got to be careful about e5.
Check.
Uh-oh.
Check.
I've got to unpin. This e5 doesn't look good.
Check.
There's e5 threat, and I'm 40 seconds down. Okay. Try and keep my rook active. There is a passed pawn here as well.
Check.
I don't know. H4 looks too risky because of e5. Or does it? I'm not entirely sure. I'll start moving a bit quicker just in case to avoid a total time scramble. So I want to play h4. Do I? Probably. Cause some problems with h5. I think I should calculate the e5 stuff. Oh, he's going to have a king and pawn ending. Oh, do I lose
Check.
that? Oh no, this is very committal. Uh-oh. Okay, let me see. I think I've just lost, haven't I? Oh, I think I've just lost this king and pawn ending. Yeah, F5 Zugzwang. I would be prefer the rook to have been on. To keep the opposition. Oh no, he's making inroads. I'm really screwing this up. This is, oh, come on. No, I've just really screwed it up. Yeah. This guy's profile. Okay. Okay. Alright, cards chess. That's a shame. Thought I was going to hold it there. It's very difficult though, I guess. Oh man. Alright. Alright, cards chess. Let's try and get some more coffee in. Alright, rook c8, knight b4 maybe. Okay, a5 or knight a5. And b4 here. Okay, knight c4. Knight c4, knight. Okay, g5 is looking a little bit dangerous. Can I play this? Alright, this is interesting. I get hacked if I play h6.
Check.
Whoa, this is a little bit. Yeah. It's a bit scary to say the least. My loose rook there. Bishop g5. I don't know if that's useful defensively here. Or not, no, it's just losing a pawn. King h7 just loses a rook. King h8, there's bishop h6. So in the circumstances, I don't know. This this is looking bad. This is looking bad. Let's try and hold this one. Oh, I'm going to get killed tonight at this rate. Okay, let's see. Let's see. What is there here? I can try and blunt the queen from it. No, have loose pieces there. Okay, rook f3, rook f1. I can't allow h6. Can I? H6. Okay, this is dangerous. Come on, think. Queen f6, h6. Rook f3, hg. Not convinced. behind this. Not convinced by that move. Okay, what to play here to avoid getting done over? I don't know. Somehow this might have something going for it, or I could be getting done over. Basically, h6. Looks pretty promising. And straightforward, unfortunately. What? Okay, hang on. Rook f3, rook g7. That's h7. Okay, maybe rook f3 is okay. When I say like maybe, for rook f1. This deep pawn might be weak if I can survive this. I can't. Okay, what's the concrete? What's the concrete threat? What's the concrete threat? What is the concrete threat? Rook, not rook g7, surely. Maybe. Yeah, because actually there'll be rook h8 threatened after. Yeah, that would win the rook on f3 here. So hg looks actually rather... Okay, rook f1. Rook f1. I'm going to get this rook off on hg. Yeah, just rook f1. Okay, that's not so bad. hg rook f1. hg rook f1. No, he plays rook g7 first. The snag here, he plays rook g7 first. That looks kind of, I don't know, rook g7 kind of seems winning. Okay, but anyway, apart from that, right. Okay, he's giving me time for rook f2 for some reason. Crikey, I don't like this position. Well, is rook f1 possible here? Ends up losing g7 and everything. Alright, is knight f8, h7 possible? Okay, anything possible here to defend? I don't know if I'm exaggerating this. I've got loose pieces. Okay, what about rook f5? Hold on a sec. I've got to get rid of this loose piece. He's making me concerned about the loose piece in all the variations. I don't know. Do I get a chance for e4 and knight e5? Alright, I suspect he just had hg. Wouldn't it be interesting to check this out? Okay, okay. Knight e5. Now to try and repel this, maybe knight f3. Well, there's rook f1 winning the queen. Yeah, and then knight g6 after.
Check. Check.
that might be good news for me. I'm sure. Okay. This looks like it should be okay. Is it? I'm still getting attacked.
Check.
Can I play this?
Check. 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 Check.
Yeah, I think he just had a simple winning move in that game. Okay, Chamax, have we just played Chamax? So who have we just played? I'm just getting a little bit concerned. I can't care. We played Chamax. He's challenging again. He's confusing me. Virtuoso. We haven't played yet. Okay. Yeah, I think he could have just. Okay, it looked like winning just with h6. It looked simple and strong. h6 at some point. It looked pretty simple and strong. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, I think I was let off the hook. So I'm trying to play the role of the aggressor here. It'd be nice to have a role reversal after that last game where I just used the G and H pawns. Have a nice hack attack myself as a change from being on the verge of getting mated. I like this. I had a good game once against Marugan in the Lloyd's Black Masters actually, with this kind of attack against his Sicilian Scheveningen. So h5 g6 and alright, so can I afford b3 here? That's an interesting thing. Can I afford to play b3? I'm hoping he hasn't got knight c4. Can I kick this guy back and then carry on, or can I just carry on with h5 and g6? So g6, I remember in the Marugan game this bishop was good there on the diagonal, but he's not letting me have it on the diagonal. Alright, g6 anyway looks like a pretty thematic thing to be the role of the attacker for a change. If I can get g6 in, I might have an attacking position of some sort. So we're breaking open quite a few lines here. And nice possibilities of bishop h6 with this battery. Okay. I think h6 forces the lines open. Unless there's anything stronger. Takes, I'm wondering if he just closes up things there. I think h6 opens the rook by force here. This rook is opened by force, I think. Because if I had played g takes here, h6, I think he had g6, and then this rook's not happy. I think this is a way of at least making the rook happy, I think, to make sure the rook has got access to h7. Now there might be knight d5 here. There's queen f7 after. Right, c3 looks like a bad target. Knight d5, ed, rook h7 takes, check. That looks interesting. Knight d5 with the idea of rook h7 for rook h1. I have this diagonal as well. Try this for a laugh, because I want this diagonal and I want this h file. So ed rook h7, king takes check, king g7, bishop h6. If king f7, queen d5. So let me see, calculate again. ed rook h7, king takes rook h1, king g7, bishop h6. He's bottling out there quite significantly of this whole thing. Wow. That's very, very interesting. He just thinks it's sound or something, what I've just done. I can take and then bishop g5. He's not really testing me. I don't know if that was sound. It just looked like vaguely interesting. Okay. That would be definitely an interesting one to analyze. Now there's queen d5 here.
Check.
For taking rook h7. That pins down the knight. Well, no, not really. It's got, okay. f5 to knight d4. My queen's just a tactical target here. Is that fe? If knight, if takes, I'll just take there. Can I just play this for a moment? Let's see. Is he not? He's not going to take. I'll just take there, getting his queen back. Queen takes, rook takes, take the queen. So what does he do? Knight takes. Let's say he does knight takes. Queen e6. Knight takes, queen e6. Or queen d4. Maybe just queen d4 is better central. Holds e4 as well. Can I just double the rooks? Rook h4, rook h1. That sort of thing. Can I double the rooks? Try and double the rooks. That holds e4 for a moment. Actually, his d6 was just hanging there. Well, I mean, I don't know if d6 was worth taking. Like here, it might be worth taking. If rook d7, there's queen b8. I'm holding e4 as well now with this rook h4. So the ideal scenario here, what is the ideal scenario? To double rooks. Okay, there's queen b8 minimum to think about. Probably the first thing I should be thinking about. Oh, he's resigned. Queen b8, I think. There's some interesting games to analyse, maybe if we get a chance later. Silent Hunter, thanks. I mean, in the final position there's queen b8. Silent Hunter. Yeah, I'm not sure about knight d5. It was just more for fun. I don't know if I was really convinced that when I played knight d5. But he chickened out of it. Okay. Now, the most caveman-y way to play this position would be probably h5, h4. The less caveman-y would be bishop g4, queen d7, bishop h3. On this occasion, I could try this approach. So queen d7, bishop h3. Although, yeah, okay, let's see. I think I have to drop the rook back out of harm's way. Unprotected piece, queen d7 stuff later, maybe castle. I think castling is sensible here. Any e4 later, f5, f4 might be interesting in conjunction with queen d7, bishop h3. This is a lot of moves to think about in advance. I mean, he's really got this C file. Oh, he's almost winning the bishop. I'm going to be careful about my bishop. Alright. Okay, this is uncomfortable. f5, there might be knight e5 for d6 check. Alright, is this tactically, I'm going to be, yeah, f5, knight e5, okay, this one? Am I just losing that pawn now? I could allow knight e6, I suppose. If I take and then d5, that sort of hems in that bishop. Pardon me. Hems in that bishop. Is that the end of the world to hem in the bishop? If I take and then d5, right? Does he go in there? Or does he go knight h3? Oh, okay. Okay, I've just noticed he's got that bishop e4 business anyway. So that's not too clever. So maybe I should just take her. And then c6, d5. He's making headway positionally with this pawn. Okay, with this pawn on e6. I'm going to try and blunt the bishop and hopefully stop e4. He's going to play e4 next, isn't he? Oh, crikey. Okay, that's great. Anyway, alright. Get out of this killer diagonal for a moment. Yes, I have a feeling I'm being positionally murdered here, move by move, but anyway. Try and shake that feeling. E takes, knight take. He's got that nice pawn there. He's blasting out with the bishop. Right, try and be a bit positive here. F4, F4. Is that okay? Play F4, trying to weaken him on the dart squares. Somehow, if I can weaken him on the dart squares, maybe bring this rook via the second rank over here later. Okay, can I get some dart square control or not? B5. B5, the rook can swing across there. There's knight g6, there's f5 there. And if I take here, do I get tactically thumped on rook f4? It's possible I don't. I mean, I don't know. Right. Can I do this to try and establish a knight on f4, or is that too dangerous? I really want to relieve this pressure with b5 over here. He's going to force me into playing g5. Is he? Crikey. Alright, I get to play this move for whatever it's worth. It covers against e7 a little bit. If I can get to play, yeah. Okay. Okay, it doesn't look total end of world just yet. Because I've covered at least e7. Can I get to play? I don't think g5 would be a good idea. The queen's coming off. There's the immediate d6 after. Is c4 a good idea? Fascinating. Fascinating. I don't know. This blockade looks only temporary. Can I do this? I wonder if I've gotten... no. Am I overly... don't know. I don't know. I'll try g5. I'm hoping queen e5 doesn't win. He's in a bit of time pressure here. Does queen e5 necessarily win? Okay. I can take and use g7 here. Reasons to be cheerful. Rook g7. He's got e7 immediately after that. Okay. e7 looks remarkably dangerous. What's wrong with is there anything wrong with knight d5? Do I get absolutely murdered on knight d5? e7 looks like queening the pawn. So I've given him this nice juicy g4. Can I get my king over here? Away from this, I get mated quite quickly. I'm blockading against e7 here, so what about rook g7 in this position? e7, king f7. Not necessarily at bishop h5 there, because of knight h5. If king f7
Check.
holds, that would be something. Bring my king up. Right, I can hold e7. Can I?
Check.
No. These pawns seem queening. Ah. Yeah, I've really messed that one up.
Check.
Yes. I thought there's some problems there.
Check. Check.
Oh boy.
Check.
Yeah. I think you can win with the two queens somehow. Yeah, we'll play. Okay. Alright, US Hackman. Oh, that was relentless. I just thought relentless positional pressure accumulating advantages. Yeah, impressive. Okay. hard time tonight. Okay, try and hold it together here. Okay. If it takes maybe knight d4. Okay, I'll do this. Can you just play f takes? F takes looks kind of dangerous. Do I play d5 there? I'll take and then bishop b4. So bishop e4 and then d5, I think.
Check.
That looks, I've been let off the hook a bit, because if I can get the f5 square here, I think that'll be okay. So e5, I can probably take and then knight f5. That looks okay. Okay, can I take
Check.
knight d5? That looks as though I've sort of fragmented the pawns here a bit. Okay, he hasn't got a blocked in bishop. Can I play bishop g4 at some point? This looks okay. Or bishop a6. Let's see, castles. Okay, I'll do this. Or okay, maybe I'll start with this. Then queen f6. That's knight e5. Rook d8 to stop knight d7. So okay, this one, knight e5, rook d8. Ooh. Okay, rook d8 and then c5. That might be good to try and underwork. He's threatening knight d7, so I want to play, I think, c5 to disrupt. Well, to try and well, knight takes f4 might also be on, but c5 first to dissolve my double pawns. But knight f4, I don't know if that runs in. It doesn't necessarily run into anything. The bishop's controlling f1 here. Knight takes f4 might be something. So I don't know, c5 and then okay, c5 first. Well, knight f4, knight e4 might be dangerous. Although, hang on, queen f5. What about just, what's wrong with just queen takes? Okay, this is c6. Alright, I'm going to be careful here. What about c5 as previously mentioned? Just trying to, I'm trying to dissolve, oh, he's got knight e4. Maybe, maybe I play queen f4 here. Okay, maybe. He's a bit short on time. I don't feel under that much pressure at the moment. And the position looks like active pieces and stuff. He's got like major pass pawns coming at me at the moment. Have I got knight e2 check and then rook e8? Doesn't that
Check.
kind of try and win a knight? These knights look loose with rook e8 or knight c6. What if I use this rook? Can I pick up one of these knights? Even if he takes who I take, and I'm going to get the exchange. Pick up one of these knights. They're just there for the taking, Johnny. Okay, I'll take here. And these knights are loose. Okay, cool. Garu, well, there's quite a few to play. Okay, excellent. Thank you for all the challenges. Garu, Okay, so provisional. Is there a new member? Welcome to ICC. There's a new member. Oh, it's not there. Google Girl. Okay, let's play Google Girl. No, I'll play a Tarash against the French. Okay, I'll try and control these two squares. Google Girl. I think. Right, got to be careful against this. I play this sometimes myself. I've allowed knight b4. Can we transpose into a normal Tarash? I wouldn't mind. It looks like a normal-ish. I don't know. I think. That cautionary gambit coming up. There's some sort of that was it. There's that gambit here. I don't know what it's called. I've forgotten. Something. It's well known. Gambit territory. Milner Barry or something. Alright. This gambit, I think, is kind of well known, I believe. Okay, so not too worried at the moment. But there might be a Greek gift on castling. Bishop h7, knight g5. That's stopped. Okay. Would they take here? I'm just wondering how greedy they are to take that. Okay. Now in this case, what about bishop h6? That looks very tempting here. Especially if I could swing a rook across the third rank. Right, I'm going to go for this. Try and get a nice attacking position. Can I get a rook across the third rank? Okay, if I take now, if rook takes, I think well, intriguing. Knight g5 is also intriguing. Get a rook e1 or something. Do I need to play that e takes? That's fascinating. Do I need to play that? I can't see an easy way of switching a rook in. Mind you, there is this g4 for king h1, rook g1. That's very sneaky. g4. That really is interesting to consider. Okay, I'm going to play g4. Yeah, that's a weird candidate move, because I kind of feel I'm releasing his defensive capability to unleash his defensive capability if I take that. I wanted a rook to join the queen. There's no way across the third rank here, but there is via king h1 and rook g1. If only I can play here and king h1, I'll be ready for rook g1. If this works, I'll be happy, clearly. If it takes, there's e6 there. There's rook g7. Alright, can I... There's rook f6. Okay, can I go ahead with this idea? With, even if I lose, f2 could be too much. Fg, rook g1, queen f2, rook g4. Fg, rook g1, rook g7, rook g4. Alright, let's go with this. Okay. Queen f2. Okay, there's no rook g4 there. There's bishop h7 for rook g4. King f7. There is rook g4 here. Rook g4, bishop h7. There's king f7. Bishop g6. First, queen f2 is on f3. Rook g4, rook g4, rook g1, rook g1, knight g1, queen f2, bishop check, king f7, queen g6, king f8, queen g8. So can I play rook g4, rook g1? How many defensive moves are there? Queen f2, rook g4, rook g1, knight g1, queen f2, bishop h7, king f7, bishop g6. So it's basically rook g4. Let's calculate this again. I'll try it. So rook g4, rook g1, rook g1, knight g1, bishop, queen f2, bishop h7, king f7, queen g6, king f8, queen g8. These are a bit of spectators, these guys. 5 of them over here. But this queen is the most dangerous
Check.
one to factor in. Actually, why couldn't I play king takes g1? That was simpler. That holds f2. King takes g1 was simpler. Mind you, the knight wasn't going to g5 anyway. Oh no! Oh no! A simple move there, yeah. Where's the attack? Oh, where's the attack? That was a bit crazy. There's no attack here. Get this knight to h5. That's the only thing. This takes 1, 2, 3 moves. No, I don't think there's an attack here that's going to work somehow. No, I've kind of overestimated there.
Time warning.
I only got 17 seconds. I think I overestimated. Didn't calculate that very well. Yeah, that's kind of a lost position. Okay, yeah, I think I'll just resign. Yeah. Oh well, it was an idea. It was an idea. Henderson. Spectacularly bad idea. Johansson, have we played Johansson? Okay. Okay. Alright, again, this is quite aggressive chess by everyone today. Oh boy. Three pieces for the queen. For the
Check.
bishop. Okay, let's see how this works. Right. I can take an f6. I can take and a knight d3 to win the queen here. And he's got queen h6. Is the idea like queen h6? I'll do this. That knight looks too good. So there's f6, bishop f6 for knight d3. Do I get? It seems as though the queen might need some more support. Am I wrong about this? There's bishop h6. There's knight g6 here. That pin on bishop h6. I don't know, king e8. I could do this. King 8, bishop h6, king e8.
Check.
Alright, on this, I'll do this. His king's still in the center, right?
Check.
So should I be worried?
Check.
I've got rook e8 coming here. There's rook h4 as well. It looks as though his king's wide open. I don't know how we get this, but I don't know, his king doesn't look right, which is good for me. I can just take on. Why can't I just take on c2? Will I get hammered? Any knight e4 later. I think there's queen e5. Would I get hammered?
Check.
It doesn't castle with this. There's queen f5. Oh, there's knight d6. Okay. Knight e4. There's a check here. b3. Knight e4, making queen e5, knight d6, king g7. So knight e4 is on d6 and f6.
Check.
I think that's a concern. Can I not play just king g7 here? And what's the danger of king g7? There's not even a queen c7 here. Right, there's queen h5 here, or there's queen f5 threatening queen c2. Queen f5 looks... Or rook c8 first. If queen g4, there's queen h5. Queen g4, queen h5. Just get the queens off. So I've got the rook protecting that, thankfully. Alright, thanks for the game. Yeah, I don't know, it's fun to play sacrifices like Tal, whatever the result, so that's the fun of Blitz as well. So credit to my opponent for daring that lovely idea, you know. I've been swapping roles here: the attacker, defender, sacrificer, muncher. I've been swapping roles tonight from each game. Variety of roles so far. Okay, I don't know. It seemed weird how it just seemed a bit weird how White's king was a bit shaky after. I didn't expect that, to be honest. Yeah. Okay, so okay. Okay, some crazy games anyway. I think they're entertaining, these games so far. They're pretty cool. They're not like World Championship games by any measure. Oh dear. Oh dear. So trying to be like Tal, a lot of people apparently tonight, including me. So cool. Let's see. So Rocky Top. If I stop knight d5, I think that's important to stop knight d5 here. h6. Yeah. It's a bit of a bind actually. Bishop h1. I don't want to play g5 necessarily, do I? Maybe I do. Okay, he's not testing that aspect. Can I play d6 coming up? D6 and let's see, d6 looks stable enough for a moment. Okay, yeah, d takes. That d file could be handy to try and contest soon. So queen, I don't know, queen g6 threatens bishop h3. If king h2, maybe just bishop e6, and I just try and double on that d file. That pawn is better placed, I think, on e5 here than a target on d6. So I think I just want to play queen g6, gain a tempo, for bishop e6 and double rooks. That looks like a good plan here. So bishop h3, I'm getting a tempo. Yep. And I just want to double rooks really, I think, for the moment. And let's take it from there after. I'm not sure anything major like f5 is needed. That's very double-edged, even if I did get f-file stuff. I think this is less controversial, just to double rooks here. And one immediate thing, well, okay, it's protected there at d7 anyway. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put a bishop in here. Maybe. Or rook d2. Is it worth the invasion rook d2? It might be actually, because I'm on f2 there. That might be uncomfortable for white. I guess I could test that, because I am looking at f2 here. Yeah, this is another tempo gain. That looks very pleasant. In fact, this c pawn is hanging as well. This looks very pleasant at the moment, especially because I've noticed the c pawn that's linked to the rook, which is linked to the f2 as well. So basically, yeah, this looks extremely nice. Knight f5 doesn't threaten knight e7 yet. to fork my queen and king. Okay, so safety point. There's bishop f2 here, forcing move for rook d1. This might be worth playing. Might be, I think it is.
Check.
Worth playing to deflect the rook away from d1. Right.
Check.
Get this pawn then slightly weakened.
Check.
I think my opponent's position a bit. Support e5. Might be threatening queen e4. Queen e4 looks okay. For queen d4 next. Okay. King h7. Just for queen g6. Queen e4 check.
Check.
Takes knight. Okay.
Check.
Queen's off. Right, thanks. J. Russell 2. Have we played J. Russell 2? I just want to quickly check. No. Hi, J. Russell 2. Although it does seem to ring a bell. Okay, Max happy. Maybe I'm getting confused with last week and stuff. Okay, let's go normal Sicilian. Make all this super quick. Super quick. Banging out the moves here. F5. Right. Is there like knight? I'm saying like, this rings a bell. 96 somewhere. Takes knight c5. Knight d5 after. Doesn't he just castle queenside? Maybe there's a saner way of playing this position than knight e6. I can't immediately see a punishment after knight c5. Although bishop h3, if he castles, there's e7 check. That's kind of interesting. Okay, I'll give it a punt. Just for fun. Just for fun. Just for fun. It looks entertaining, if nothing else, for bishop h3 here and rook f1. Because if I can dissuade castling queenside, well, there's queen f7 here, winning a pawn. Queen g7. Let's win a pawn.
Check.
Right, now I get this f file. I threaten rook f8 after. Rook f8 is the threat here, mating. Takes, that's mating, rook f8. Yeah, e7 is winning the queen. Isn't that rook f8? And e7 check after.
Check.
Takes Queen E8. Oh, thanks. That was a bit brutal. Sorry. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. That cheered me up a bit. Yeah, I know that was brutal. That was just for fun a bit. That was just for fun a bit. I wasn't sure. That was just trying to be a little bit flash.
Check.
Work there. You can see sometimes flash doesn't work. So be warned. You can just lose all your pieces. Trying to be flash, trying to be clever, you can just lose all your pieces. Sometimes it's not funny, it's not clever. But if it's blitz, who cares? Okay. You don't want to lose all your pieces like, you know, it's easy to play like Tau sometimes, but you can lose all your bits. E5? What's wrong with E5 there? Can I not get past pawn? Well, that's a bit optimistic for me to say pass pawn here. I can help my pawns a little bit. Yeah, there's E6 here for bishop C4. So rook E6, bishop C4. These pawns look dangerous. I'm going to play D5. The centre looks as though...
Check.
Alright. Yeah, maybe my pawn's weak. Do I get rook D7 in? My pawn could be weak. Maybe the bishop was well placed there. I might have compensation here. I'm hoping I do. It looks as though I should do it in some way, have compensation. If I can get rook D7 in, try and at least get a pawn back. There's bishop C5 at minimum here. Do I play bishop C5 immediately or not? Or rook D7? Both rook D7 and bishop C5 seem tempting. I guess rook D7 he could play B6, so let's stick this in now. I don't know the answer actually, to be honest. I don't know. Rook D7, okay, the only way I can calculate for a minute to decide between rook D7 and bishop C5. Rook D7, okay, let's imagine rook E7, bishop C5. What is the meaning of king F8? Rook D8, bishop C5 is a disaster. King G8, E7. I don't know. Let's imagine rook D7, B6, rook C7. Now rook D7, knight E5, bishop C5. Ah. What's the idea? What's the idea of king F8? If knight E5 there's bishop C5. If B6 there's rook C7. The good news, if I can get a pawn back and just try and maintain the clock at minimum. I'm actually 2 pawns down here, but the rook on the 7th and the active bishops, if I get 1 pawn back, that should be okay. Well, there's check here.
Check.
Alright, I can retreat the bishop. I think this is... Okay, if I retreat the bishop here, because that discovered check. Maybe that was the trap idea. That looks, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Can I get a pawn back and still have active bishops, basically? If this is ruled out, can I get a pawn back, active bishops? Plus bishop d4 is on g7 anyway. This pig on the 7th is going to eat loads of pawns, including g7 potentially. This, yeah, I think I've got reasons to be cheerful here. Now if b6, let's get a pawn back to start with. Maybe another one. He's controlling against bishop d4 though. It's annoying for a moment. If I get another pawn back, I'll just have these raging bishops with that pawn over there. Let's fix this guy. I want to keep this trained on the diagonal. Rook b7. Weaken c6. Disrupt this and then play bishop d4. Can I get to play bishop d4? Or can I just play e7? Bishop d4 here. What does he do to bishop d4 here? So I'll be on g7. Oh, has he got bishop e6? He is on this. Hang on, there's rook c8 there. Bishop e6, rook c8. Rook takes bishop e6. There's rook c8. If king f7, I take here and take the bishop. If he takes, take, yeah, rook c8. So crosspin here and here, crosspin tactic.
Check.
This bishop's controlling the knight. For a moment. That bishop controlling the knight there anyway. Oh, bishop b7. Alright, thanks for the game. Alright, do we play Nesmetinov? At least I'm playing a few good games tonight anyway. That cheers me up. Okay, Nesmetinov. Or dynamic. I don't know if they could be called good. I don't know. Dynamic. Try and play dynamic chess. Dynamic. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So knight g6, knight f6, bishop c5. So a6 and bishop a7. I've got nice dark square grip here. So bishop a7, d6, my usual plan, and then take it from there. Okay, so bishop a7, yeah, knight g4, h5 is a usual, really aggressive plan here, without even castling. So bishop a7, knight g4, h5. And see, is that he's weakened the light squares a bit, so bishop g4 looks sort of tempting as well. Or just queen d7 to h3 here. That pawn's pinned again. Hg, queen d7, bishop f6, queen h3. Looks pretty good to me, queen h3. I've got a childish addiction to h-file attacks. I think it's influenced by my bullet chess addiction as well. So queen h3, it is pretty childish play, but it can be dangerous because queen h3 looks pretty dangerous to me. Yeah, because he's weakened the light squares. I mean, it's like it's an open invitation on the light squares here. Okay, so queen h3 looks dangerous. Bishop f6, queen h3. Again, queen h3 threatens, like, well, queen h3. If queen f3, I take it, and then there's a pin, rook h4. I think queen h3 is worth playing here. There's queen g3 threatened for a start with that pin. So let's see. Queen g3 is one threat to consider. On queen f3, knight takes. If bishop takes, rook takes because of that pin there. Right, so this just allows queen g3.
Check.
And queen g5, surely. Scoop up this bishop. If knight takes, there's rook h1, mate there, if the king's there. Now knight g4 threatens rook h1 and queen h2. Drag and drop tactic. I've seen not just in a Nakamura game recently, but also in an old master game. So rook h1, queen h2 now is like a mate in 2. It's brutal. Yeah, this looks pretty brutal. X-rated. Queen f2 looks like it's mate here. Thanks for the game. J. Russell 2. Did we get to play J. Russell 2? We did play J. Russell 2 earlier. Gonna cap red. I don't think we've played cap red. Okay. Okay. Trying to redeem myself a little bit. I played the wrong line here. Let's just go away from the main lines then. Well, he's got queen e7. That's going to be dull if he played that. Get the queens off. c4, knight c3 and d5, that sort of thing. Or b3, bishop b2. These knights over here. Okay. Squish a bit. So b4 if necessary. So knight d2, knight b3, maybe knight. Okay, control the e4 square. Queen c2, rook e1. Then maybe knight b3 to a5. So queen c2, rook e1. Okay, controls e4 a bit. There's also another idea. Okay, let's control e4 here for a moment. Just in case he wants to plonk a knight on e4. That's not possible at the moment then. Right. Stop this knight g5 business. Naughty business. Trying to contain his knights, both of them. Can I just try and double here now? Mind you, rook e3, there's bishop h6. If I double here and then in conjunction with b5, might be a plan. He's pretty solid looking, actually. He's pretty solid looking. That's interesting. Wow. Okay, that is interesting. Can I take and get a knight to d6? I'm weakening my light squares though. This might be a dumb idea. As dumb ideas go, this could be one of them. Knight f6 is threatened here, isn't it, for rook e8. I've weakened my light squares. My idea was knight d6 if I did have an idea. And b4's hanging. Some compensation with rook e7 maybe. It's a big maybe. Actually, I can take here rook b7 and double rooks. The way he's played it. Get my pawn back. Now, if he plays rook b8, not rook f7, I think he's got rook d6, then king f7. But what about? Oh, there's knight f7 for knight h6 here. The way he's playing it. Knight f7 is with tempo on the rook, so probably worth playing now. Tempo on the rook, so knight h6. I get a chance. Well, knight h6 looks. I can get another pawn over here and get c5. So c5 dropping is a bit of a nuisance. There's rook a7 here. And there's knight g4, I've just noticed. Rook e1, knight f6, but there's rook e7, otherwise I would be mating on h7. There's no way of getting that in, is there? If I played rook e7 first, he takes on c5, rook c7. I'm trying to distract him from the threat of knight g4 to f6. This might be worth punting. Could be a difficult threat to see knight g4 to f6. I mean, we'll get tempo with rook c7. So knight g4 to f6. Alright. Anyway, I can get a pawn back over there. He has stopped this. I'll just get a pawn back and get an outside pawn. There's going to be a pawn up if I could take a7. No, the pawn's protected. What am I talking about? Right, get this c6 one. Alright, get c6 at least. I get a knight to e5. Or is it worth playing h5 to break up these pawns? Knight e5. I'm not sure about that. Okay, I can get another pawn here. Or not. No, he just plays rook f7. If I go this way, does that make a difference? Not really. I'm going to test this.
Check.
Play rook f7 routinely. Yeah. Right. What about coming round with the knight? He's tempting me to come around with the knight to g5 now. And go to e6 later. Right, to defend my second rank. Pawn up in the endgame here. Yeah, let's defend the second rank. It's a pawn up in the endgame. Come on, it can't be that bad. If I leave the pawns on light squares. Well, that pawn over there on light square.
Check.
Right, if I get my pawns off dark squares here. Try and get my pawns off dark squares. Easy targets for that bishop. So h5. I got a pass pawn. Yeah, I think it's a draw now, isn't it? I don't think this is possible for me to win unless I don't think it's possible. I think I'm just gonna from a draw actually. I'm pretty sure.
Draw?
Yeah. Okay. J Russell, we've played. J Russell, we've played. Okay, so I'll go on the 3-minute auto pairing for a moment, for one game or two. Okay, so 3-minute auto pairing, or I could play on the 1-minute auto pairing a few games. Do you guys want like 3-minute auto pairing or bullet auto pairing? I'd sort of ask you on stream what you prefer. I think I'm maybe stronger on bullet. Okay, so an IM on the 3-minute. Let's try and avoid immediate hack attack stuff. Play for d5 or not. Try and weaken d4. Okay, weaken d4. c6 coming up. I was going to this e5 square and then c6 looks fun. Is he going to play f4? That's a bit weakening. Might get some h5 pressure here. a5 to try and trap the knight with c6. c6 threatens. Does he make it square? I'll get this diagonal. This is knight f4. Okay. He's got queen d4 here. Alright. That's getting pretty sharp. Knight f6, king g7. Knight f4, fg.
Check.
Knight h5. I don't want to be mated with queen f5
Check.
particularly. Crikey. Yeah. Oh, this is got awkward all of a sudden. Going to try and kick the queen out with here. A4 rook A5 would win the knight. That's sneaky. If I can get it. A4 for rook A5. Where do you see that? Oh, there's knight F6. Okay, I have to address knight F6 now. Okay, I have to address this, unfortunately. Okay, I'm losing G4. This is not good. This has gone a bit pear-shaped. Ah, that F6 is a big problem. I'll still play for this. There's Queen E6 as well. Not sure this is doing anything. Rook E5. D5. I'm nearly getting mated her.
Check.
Oh, this is getting pretty awkward to say the least. It looks losing this position. I don't know how this has happened particularly. Yeah, more than awkward. I think he has just a forced mate here. But anyway, G5 looks, yeah, like I've got nothing to do whatsoever in this position. Ah. Try this. I think there's just rook F6. He just plays rook F6. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay. Did you guys want some bullet games just to finish off? A bit more casual bullet games. Just a few bullet games. Take here. Try and hold this center. Try and do something over the queen side. Alright, he's let me have this A file. Not worried. Probably not. C3 B4. So B4, rook A5, double the rooks, maybe. Maybe bishop A6 coming in. Looks like an attacking sort of thing. If I can treble over here for queen A2, rook A8. Queen C7.
Time warning.
Let's put a knight on C5 as well. Right, so rook A7 threatened. So that's queen.
Check.
It's queen G7.
Check.
That's over here. I'm throwing a check. Did he have a forced mate just then?
Check. Check.
Oh, I lose on time by 0.1 of a sec. How do I get so much luck tonight? I lose on time by 0.1 of a second. I don't believe it. By 0.1 of a second. Trying to throw in the checks there at the end. Blimey. Okay, so bishop g4 and castle queenside. So this hacks that over here then. Okay, so queen h7. This should be mating. Right, I'll just ignore that stuff over there. Queen h2 and rook h3.
Check.
Maybe here. He's got 94, right? Okay.
Check.
Oh, he's defending everything. Yes, and now my queen's attacked. Oh, that's just a fantastic position. Yeah, my queen's gone. Ah, can't play bullet at all to save my life. Okay, great.
Check.
Yeah, it's got loads of time. Alright. Okay, let's see. I was slightly optimistic there. Okay. This looks wrong for me already. Okay. Doesn't matter. Bishop d3. This looks so weird. I don't know. What about bishop f? I don't know. He's got good grip on the position. Rook g7. Okay, rook g7. a3 and b4 coming up at some point. Oh, okay, I'll say that. Knight d6.
Check.
Right, this looks fun. This guy's not. Okay. Do something with this knight. Take on here.
Check. Check.
Okay, before I lose that pawn, let's take.
Time.
I've got a pawn
Check.
over here.
Check.
Try and use this pawn over here.
Check.
Or not.
Check.
Is it someone I can actually beat on time tonight on bullet or not?
Check.
Yes. Okay. One more. Okay. Not to end. Okay. Kill Georgiev. How good is he on bullet? Okay. Knight f4 coming in. Alright, let's try and defend somehow with f6. Knight f4. Right, so knight e5 for knight d3. If I double, then there's knight f3. There's knights protecting. Trying to hit this guy. Knight d3. g4. Uh-oh. Yeah. Ah!
Time warning. Check.
Oh.
Check.
This is not helping, is it? And this is knight f2. Oh no, that's just nothing.
Check. Check.
Check. Unfortunately.
Checkmate.
Okay. Okay. Just one more. Just one more. Last one.
Check.
Okay. Try and hold d4. Queen d2 for bishop h6. Try and hold d4 first. What's the plan here? Panic. My senses just melted down. Okay. There's bishop e3 potentially. Pin. e5 takes. Right. Trying to avoid the check. So knight e2 without the check. Okay. There's a check over there. There's knight c2 here, isn't there? I got a small clock advantage, which is handy for bullet, to say the least. Queen 8, there's no queen h6. Can I go around h8?
Checkmate.
Okay, I'll end on that high note. Okay, I want to end on a high note. Okay, alright, yeah. Okay, that's fun though. It's really brutal, isn't it, the auto pairing? Should we call it finished now? I'll just say my co-producer. So, yeah. Kirill Georgiev. It was a, yeah, I think he's quite yeah, a great grandmaster there on the auto pairing playing bullet there. So that's interesting. Okay, so I hope you have a good weekend. Found this mildly entertaining. Yeah, and have a good weekend. Okay, see you next week. And remember to like the video if you got a kick out of it. All right, thanks very much.